Apparently, guys, this guy fixed Minecraft with community suggestions.
Ever since Minecraft's conception, the community has come forward to give suggestions on what features they would like to see added into the game. From big mechanics like new dimensions to smaller features like new items, players have always had ideas for how to make the game better. Some of these suggestions get a ton of support from the community, but most of them never actually make it into the game. Mojang is also kinda notorious for ignoring these suggestions, or twisting them into something entirely different. For example, in 2020, the community unanimously asked for lava boats as part of the 1.16 Nether update. And Mojang delivered, but instead of lava boats, Mojang gave us striders, which honestly was a unique twist on the idea, but turned into an underused feature. They even tried letting us decide directly for community votes, choosing which mobs or biome overhauls would be added. But those votes ended up dividing players more than it ended up uniting us, sparking tons of backlash and were finally scrapped in 2023. My last few videos have been all about fixing or enriching features Mojang either overlooked or didn't deliver on. But today, I'm doing something different. I'm taking the community's most popular suggestions, adding them into Minecraft myself, and then rating them on whether they should not or should absolutely be added into the game. So I went digging through the highest rated Minecraft suggestions from subreddits and forums, and I picked some of the best ones that players have been asking for. Some of these are small tweaks, some are game-changing mechanics, but they all deserve a fair shot at being tested in the game. Alright, let's start with a rather explosive community suggestion, the explosive barrel. TNT is useful for digging large tunnels or clearing land, but it comes with a few annoyances. First, it drops blocks, which fills your inventory with useless junk.
But that's good.
The blast radius is also a bit small, making it somewhat cost inefficient. And finally, TNT clusters are unpredictable. One explosion can send the others flying in strange directions. The explosive barrel solves all of that. It's a more expensive, premium version of TNT, designed specifically for large-scale tunneling and demolition. Its blast radius is larger and consistent, and you can even increase it by adding extra gunpowder before ignition. Blocks like stone, deep slate, gravel, dirt, and cobblestone are completely destroyed, though this does mean ores are gone too. After detonation,
Ash, get it out of here.
Nothing is left behind except smoke, and the barrel itself remains in place as a solid block, so it won't get thrown around like TNT. And honestly, this is a pretty cool idea. It's basically a controlled demolition tool. It doesn't
cost is too high, and you don't get resources. All I gotta say.
Completely replace TNT since it's harder to craft, but it's always nice when players get more options to make their lives easier. Let's follow up the explosive barrel with something gentler in addition to feathers. After getting fed up by having to constantly push around mobs inefficiently like this user suggests that holding a feather while punching mobs could deal the regular knockback to them without causing any damage. And I really like this idea. Pushing around mobs can oftentimes be pretty annoying, so this would give players a way to move their
This would be fire. I approve.
pets or other mobs around without hassle. If you want to bump a zombie villager into a hole, you can gently tap it with a feather, making it way easier to reposition mobs in a playful and harmless way. This feature isn't strictly necessary, but it would be a cool little quality of life upgrade. Talking of feathers, the following idea is for feather falling. After accidentally trampling their crops one too many times, this user suggests that farmland shouldn't get trampled if the player is wearing feather falling boots.
I agree.
And honestly, this is a really smart idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Does this make sense? After all, these boots are meant to soften your fall, but it also gives the player a way to counter one of the most annoying things in the game.
Farming.
Flattening your crops while running or jumping around. So I believe this should absolutely be a feature in the base game. And while we're already on the topic of enchantments, this next idea adds a brand new enchantment to the game called Step Up. Applied to leggings, this enchantment would let players step over blocks without needing to
That's auto jump, dude.
jump, just like horses do when climbing small elevations. It's easy to see how this could be useful in certain situations, though it might also get a little annoying when you accidentally step over blocks you didn't mean to. A simple fix could be to hold shift to disable it when needed. It's not something that feels strictly necessary for the game, but it would definitely be a neat option for players who want smoother movement. The next idea is actually one of my favorite, and it's the door zombie. The zombie is one of the most bare-boned default monsters in Minecraft. It doesn't have any cool or interesting abilities, except its ability to break doors. Now instead of simply breaking the door, why don't they pick it up once they break it and wield it around like a weapon? A zombie would either have to break a door or very rarely spawn with one.
Yeah. This should be a thing only in hardcore mode. Hardcore mode. They should do this, but only in hardcore mode, bro. Right? I think that makes sense.
Then use the door as a shield to protect itself from projectiles like arrow,
Okay, now we're glazing, bro. Now we're glazing.
or in general defend itself from attacks, meaning you would need an axe to disable the shield before dealing damage. It could also hit the player with the door
That's too much. That's so much glaze.
to deal additional damage, making it a rare but tough zombie battle. But why settle for the zombie? This next idea introduces the barrel drown.
Yes, I approve. No, I only approve this because the drown is the most useless mob in the game right now. Besides getting tridents and seashells, that's literally all it's good for. I rarely
The
fight
drown,
these things.
despite being one of the main sources for one of the coolest weapons in the game, doesn't really have much going for it. So why not add a cool but rare drown variant that spawns with a barrel around it? This barrel would act like body armor, allowing the drown to withdraw into it for extra
That's sick.
defense, and it would take multiple hits to break through. On top of that, the lid on its head would protect it from burning in the sun, giving the drown some much needed variation. And while we're
Yes.
already on the topic of zombies, let's finish it off with the pot husk. The pot husk carries a cracked pot filled with sand on its head. Once it spots a player, it throws the pot from a distance, shattering it into a dust cloud that inflicts blindness
2.5 hearts.
and makes it difficult to navigate. Upon defeat, the pot husk has a chance to drop sand, giving players a way to automate scent collection. I feel like all the zombie ideas are out.
For farms, right? If you have that tower with the what, the 25 by 25 top, if you have that and these spawn in there, that's a good sand farm right there. Really good. But other than that, fighting it normally, that's pain in my
So gems, and would definitely give them some much needed quirk. Our next idea is regarding the Happy Ghast. While many people have argued that it should be
Didn't it just come out?
faster than it currently is, this idea takes a different approach. Since one of the main functions of the Happy Ghast is to make building easier, why not make it safer too? If a player is working on top of a Happy Ghast and accidentally falls off, it can instantly shoot a powdered snow block beneath them to break the fall. Of course, this idea would only make sense if the drop is high enough to be fatal. Otherwise, we wouldn't want to get blasted with powdered snow anytime we jumped off our Happy Ghast. And while this is a pretty cute idea, I don't think falling off your Happy Ghast is too big of a concern for most players, but it would certainly add a lot of personality to it. And what better way to continue the Happy Ghast than with the Bee Creeper?
With 12
In Mr. Beast, you know what? No spoilers, but something happens with the creeper that proves my point to why this shouldn't be in the game.
Creepers are already a nuisance in any world, and if their explosion alone wasn't bad enough, now we have an even more aggressive variant with a bee nest lodged in its head. Desperate to finally escape the endless bee stings it has to endure, it seeks out players more aggressively to put an end to its misery. This variant is noisier than normal creepers, constantly emitting buzzing noises that make it easier to detect before it sneaks up on you. Upon exploding, the bee creeper releases a swarm of angry bees determined to finish you off. However, if you manage to kill it before it explodes, you will be rewarded with a unique creeper face beehive for taking down this abomination of a creature. The next idea is for copper grates. Copper
That last one, still no, even though that head is kind of cool. But this one, I don't even know.
grates don't really have much practical use right now, so
Right.
it wouldn't hurt to give them some functionality. Copper
Sure.
grates should allow water to flow through them, creating a one block wide stream instead of
Yep, stamp it. Approved.
requiring a bulky 3x2 space for conveyor belts. This
Yes!
would give players the ability to build neat pipelines while saving space and keeping things organized.
Yes!
Items could pass through the grate and
Yes!
be carried along the water
Yes!
tunnel until they flow out the other side, making for efficient sorting systems. It feels natural too, since grates are already designed to look like a block that water or items could easily pass through. Mojang could always add copper pipes instead, but I feel like this would be a much more Minecrafty way of achieving the same
Yes,
thing,
yes,
making
yes,
it
yes.
quite the practical block. And it is honestly a great idea and should definitely be a feature in the game. The next idea is another mob rework, the Bearer of Souls.
What?
This variant of the Wither Skeleton doesn't attack directly, but instead wields a soul lantern. These Wither Skeletons summon wisps that
No, 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 no. No, no, no.
float around them. And
No, no,
once
no.
they detect any intruders inside the Nether Fortress, the wisps will immediately strike.
No,
Each
no.
Bearer of Souls can only maintain a maximum of 3 wisps at a time, and the only way to stop them is to defeat the Bearer itself, freeing the trapped souls from the Wither Skeleton's wrath.
So you can't kill them on their own?
This
Hell
addition
no.
would definitely spice up the nether fortresses and give them some much needed
They don't need spice, bro.
variation, and I would love to see a similar enemy added to the game. The next idea is pretty silly, but also kind of brilliant. A beacon anti-air laser cannon.
What?
This cannon is designed specifically to deal with phantoms. By placing an end crystal on top of a beacon, the beam would focus and transform into your own anti-air laser. From then on, the beacon would automatically target and shoot down any flying mobs that enter its airspace.
Yeah. Why not? You know, stamp it. Why not?
Including phantoms, ghasts, and vexes.
Vexes. Yes.
The
For
beam would
raids,
lock
that'd be
onto
so
one
good.
target at a time, dealing damage based on the size of the beacon's base. Meaning, the bigger
Yup.
the base, the stronger the blast. It's a funny concept, but
Stamped
it could
it.
actually be useful for players who want to build an open-air nether base, which probably isn't many people out there, but this idea also highlights once again the intense hatred felt toward phantoms by most Minecraft players. I actually had a similar suggestion in my Biome Vote video, where instead of an anti-air laser cannon, I suggested that vultures could be used to patrol the skies of your base, and scare away undead mobs and kill phantoms, which a lot of people
Yes.
seem to like. And let's finish the mob
I love that.
works with the suspicious spider.
Hell no.
These mushroom-infected spiders are essentially a reimagining of the effect spiders you normally encounter on hard mode. They can spawn with effects like invisibility, regeneration, speed, or strength.
They can spawn with the ability to go kiss my ass.
And should totally be a feature in the base cave.
No, it
Tool
shouldn't.
trims. Tool trims feel like a natural progression after armor trims.
Yes.
We can already customize our armor, so why not be able to do the same with the tools we use every day? Just
Yes.
like armor trims, tool trims could be discovered in structures across
Yes.
the world, giving the player the chance to unlock unique patterns and styles. Imagine being able to give your netherite pickaxe a golden pattern, or adding an emerald trim to your tools to finally get the emerald tools you so desperately wanted. They wouldn't provide any gameplay advantage, but would certainly give the player more ways to customize not only their armor, but tools too.
This is one of my favorites, bro. Can't lie to you.
Minecraft has always heavily focused on creativity and self-expression, and tool trims would be another step in giving players a way to make their gear feel truly personal. Talking of customization, there are plenty more features that could benefit from it, like beds. Imagine
Banners on beds. Yup.
being able to right-click your bed with a banner of your
That's a sick banner too, by the way. W.
choice and have the bed take on that exact design. It's a simple way to let players personalize their bases even more. And speaking of banners, there's so much more you could do with them. Right-clicking a banner with a glow ink sac could make the pattern glow, or if you use a phantom membrane, it could remove the base color entirely, leaving only the pattern behind, essentially giving players graffiti to decorate their worlds in creative ways. Banners could even be placed on boats to create sailboats, letting you represent your faction or style at sea. Honestly, the possibilities for banners are plenty, and it's a
Oh.
feature that could really let players make the most of their worlds. Talking of customization, let's move on to ancient dyes. These would be 4 brand new dye colors: amber, crimson, indigo, and aqua, all harvested from the ancient flowers that the sniffer digs up. Currently, ancient flowers don't really have much purpose beyond looking
Yeah.
cool, so why not give players a reason to seek them out by making them the source of new rare dyes? Naturally, you'd get crimson and indigo directly from the flowers, but if you mix them with white dye, you can also craft amber and aqua, giving players even more unique color variations to experiment with. But how about customizing arrows using the fletching table? The fletching table has been in the game for a while, and unlike the smithing table, which has gradually gained more functionality, the fletching table hasn't really had a purpose. Sure, you can use it to give a villager the fletcher job, but the block itself doesn't do anything. That's why the
Right.
fletching table could finally get a meaningful use by letting players craft arrows with unique functionalities. You could combine potion effects into a single arrow, make effects stronger or last longer, or even craft a quiver that works like a bundle, so you don't have to fill your inventory with dozens of arrow types. And that's just the start. This user has an interesting approach to the fletching table. Imagine being able to customize every part of the arrow, the base, the shaft, and even the tip. Use a phantom membrane instead of feathers to make a faster, more aerodynamic arrow. Swap the shaft for a blaze rod to create arrows that set blocks on fire, or a breeze rod for no gravity arrows. You could even use a prismarine shard as the tip for underwater arrows, or an amethyst shard to shatter fragile blocks like glass or shoot for certain blocks like leaves. You can even mix in some slime to make bouncy arrows, or add in some gunpowder to make them a bit explosive.
Stop him. He's cooking too hard, bro. Stop him. He's gonna burn the kitchen down, bro.
You can mix and match and customize arrows to the maximum potential. The possibilities are endless. And while it doesn't have to be exactly like this, giving the fletching table the real use would finally make it a functional block. And speaking of tables, this person suggests adding a composing table.
What?
The composing table crafted like this would give Goathorns a brand new purpose. The Copper Goathorn was once a feature in the game, featuring 10 variations, each capable of playing 3 different sounds depending on whether you're looking up, crouching, or neither. The composing table would give this retired feature an amazing new purpose. Players could create their own tunes directly in the table, assigning them to a Copper Goathorn, and then play the custom composition anytime they wanted. Granted, this isn't a necessary feature, but it would definitely be a fun mechanic to mess around with, and maybe even annoy your friends a little in the process. The next idea combines the best of two worlds, fishing and lighting, the lantern on a stake. It works just like a regular lantern, but without needing to place it down, and it even functions underwater. The best use case I can imagine is tossing it into a cave to light it up, or throwing it toward those hard to reach spots for a quick look around. I can definitely see how this could be useful, though it does lean a bit on the gimmicky side, but honestly, I think we'd just be fine without it. Let's continue with the first armor suggestion in the list, the Armadillo Plate.
No.
This is a chestplate variant crafted with armadillo scutes, with stats comparable to an iron chestplate. Its unique ability allows the player to curl into a ball form when sneaking. In this form, the player gains a defensive boost and can roll around, effectively acting as an active crawling input. This makes navigating one-block high spaces much easier.
This makes combat much harder.
Though with the drawback that items can't be used while rolling. The rolling speed matches the player's sneaking speed, meaning it could pair well with swift sneak leggings for faster movement. Additionally, entering ball form provides a stealth advantage. Players remain nearly invisible as long as mobs don't witness the transformation. Armadillo plates can also be dyed in a similar way to leather armor, allowing for the combination of multiple dyes rather than just 16 dye variants. Overall, this feels like a fantastic idea. It not only gives armadillo scutes a valuable new purpose, but it also introduces a creative way to toggle crawling mode in the game. Let's finish things off with a small but surprisingly satisfying suggestion for the watermelon. The community noticed that the watermelon texture in Minecraft is a little off. The stem doesn't actually line up with the top point of the melon, which makes it look kind of awkward. So let's fix that. Now it would be easy to simply rotate the watermelon texture 90 degrees, but we can also extend the stem to actually connect to the top of the block without having to rotate the block itself. Also, it should really be called watermelon instead of just melon. Not sure why Mojang hasn't fixed that yet, but let's not stop there. Right now, regular watermelons could need some extra features. Let's make it so that now you can right-click a watermelon block to eat it directly, just like you can with a cake. Each click will restore the equivalent of 2 melon slices worth of hunger and saturation. Let's make the glistening melon also edible, since golden apples and golden carrots are already edible, so it only makes sense that a glistening watermelon, given its use in brewing instant health potions, should also be consumable. Eating one would regenerate a single heart, functioning as a quick on-the-go healing item. On top of that, players should be able to craft glistering melon blocks that would serve both aesthetic and functional purposes. You can place one down, and just like that, you can right-click it to gain a short regeneration effect. And these were among the highest rated community suggestions I could find. Let me know in the comments which one you enjoyed most, and would love to see.
I don't know about the melon thing. I really don't. But all the other ideas were pretty good. Pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.